Hi everyone, this is Zeeshan Usmani. Happy New Year. I'm again here with my friend Jacob. Jacob, thank you so much for giving us time for our show. Happy New Year to you as well. Uh, Jacob, I wanted to discuss a few things during this call today. So number one is tell us more about the all of the people that who have applied after our last video on EB2 NIW visa. What were their process? What happened to them, and then we can talk a little bit more about the H1B visa, which is due pretty soon, EB3 visa, and the agricultural visa. Yeah, so over to you.
Excellent. Thanks, Zeeshan. I appreciate it. And for those of you that don't know, I'm an immigration attorney working in the United States, in California, and we're working with a lot of these EB3s, visas, green cards, all that kind of stuff. So, last year was a pretty good year. We had quite a few cases. I mean, as I said, we worked with hundreds of applicants who were specifically applying for green card under the national interest waiver, EB1, also EB3s. And, the overall trend is that most people are obviously getting approved. There's been a high approval rate. And the reason is because, obviously we prepare them properly, but also we make sure that the applicants, before we work with them, they are highly qualified. We give them all the requirements before we start to ensure that they are highly qualified and be able to get their applications.
Can you tell us a little bit about like how many people have applied? What was the success rate? What are the common ways people get rejected?
Yeah, so we had I would say probably over 100 people that went through the process from all countries. I think the most important thing is that people that get rejected is people that are not able to make the link between their qualifications and what the immigration want to see. So, for example, you've got people that have too much of a vague background. They're not able to show that they are committed to pursuing their endeavor in the United States. But like I said, those are very few because most applicants, they have a clear background and we're able to build their qualifications to make sure that they are able to apply with immigration with the highest rate. Also, for example, we have clients that, for the ones that get denied is, there's people that have education, but their education is not complete. So we had to do an evaluation to match their education to what the U.S. standards are requiring. And sometimes when there is not complete education, those applicants can also get denied. But like I said, majority of people that we worked with, their education comes from all over the world. We're able to build a good profile. It is really important also to let you know, Zeeshan, that applicants that are eager to file their cases fast and not willing to work on building their qualifications are also risking denial. So we always tell people, give us some time. Let's work on the case together to build the best profile possible so we can win your case. And those are the ones that are willing to be a little bit more patient and have all the criteria are usually the ones that get approved.
So applying for the visa is one thing. Building a profile is another. So I can understand lawyers, like you can help them apply for the visa, but would you be able to help or suggest them how to improve their profiles? For example, if they have a missing education link, or if they cannot link directly with the application with their background, or if they should have more things that makes their profile more unique and more acceptable.
Yeah. So for example, like one of the most common applications that we've been working with is the national interest waiver, the self-petition, which is an interesting category because it allows a person from anywhere in the world, based on their background, to get a green card without a job offer, without an investment, without any family in the United States. So with this category, typically we recommend people to be able to show us that they have both the education, the work experience, and the interest to continue pursuing that endeavor in the United States. So, for example, how we can help them is that, one of the requirements are letters of reference. So if clients are not aware of what they have to do, we work with them. We provide samples. We help them narrow down the people that should provide the references, so they don't get lost in saying, it's like if somebody gives me like 20 names of people that can help them provide references, we might narrow it down to 5, 6, the best people that are high level in their field. They heard about their job, what they do, and they know the client. So the idea is that the best way for somebody to prepare is to put together a nice resume with all their achievements, even things that they don't think are important, that will allow us to take all those things, put it into almost like a dissertation style.
Can you tell more about the H1B? This is the time how people can apply or what they would need to apply. Yeah.
Right. So now is the time to apply for the H1B visa. The H1B visa is also called as the work visa. It's the most common work visa in the United States. This is essentially a visa that is eligible for somebody that has a bachelor degree at least and has a U.S. employer that is willing to offer them a job that requires a bachelor degree. Now, the H1B season starts once a year in March. In March, they open the registration, and it's based on a lottery. So now is the time. We are now in January. Now is the time to communicate with your employer and get them to agree to commit to filing the H1B visa for you. And this way, we prepare all the package before March, and then in March we register the position with the online registration. And then at the end of March, they will tell us which people were selected, and then we have 3 months to file the H1B visa. So it's a very competitive visa. It's very obviously it's a visa that allows you to work for companies like Google and all the big tech companies, but also for small employers. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge company. As long as the job requires a bachelor degree and I can prove it, then people can do it. So like I said, now is the time to do it. There's only 3 months left and to apply.
Do they need any labor certification?
No. There's no need for labor certification. It's there's a thing called LCA, but that's not that's part of the process. You just file it as part of the employment, but it's not like a green card where you need a labor certification. It's a whole process. It takes forever.
Okay. So how about these EB3 visas? The employers with low skills.
So
Background.
So in terms of EB3 visa, the EB3 it's a green card category, which is actually this is the most popular green card category for people that have an employer. And the nice thing about EB3 is that you don't need a degree as well. You can have a degree. There's a category that applies for it. But even if you're unskilled labor, even if you work for, let's say, you want to work for as a construction and you want to work in a store, an employer can do an EB3. All they have to prove is that you have some experience and that they need somebody like that for their job. And the way they do it is by advertising the position in the paper, which is where we're talking about the labor certification. That's where the labor certification comes into play, where they have to advertise the job. But remember, EB3 is the most common way how employers are bringing foreign workers to the United States. Hotels, construction companies, this is, nurses. So EB3 is very popular. And, right now there's a little bit of a wait time for these visas because of a little bit of a backlog. But it's still, if you have an employer, even if you're overseas, they can start the EB3 process for you while you're still overseas. That's a beautiful benefit to the EB3.
How about the agricultural visa, H2-A, H2-B?
So right now we talked about kind of like permanent style visas, H1B, which leads to a green card, EB3 permanent, NIW permanent. H2A and H2B, these are seasonal visas. So H2B is a visa that is designed for people in construction, hospitality, all kind of jobs that are seasonal and are high demand. For example, the beautiful thing about the H2B is that an employer can bring 10, 20, 30 people at one time to work in a particular company. They usually come up to 10 months, go back home for a couple of months and return up to 3 years. That's why it's the season. Season usually is about 10 months. Most H2Bs cannot get a green card, but there may be other ways around it. H2A is a seasonal visa for the agriculture. As you know, right now the US is going through a big shortage. They need people to pick fruit and vegetables at different farms all over the United States, and they're hiring thousands of people for these positions. So what you need is a farm to offer you the job. H2A is also seasonal. You can get it up to 3 years, and you also get housing from this farm that brings you here. And with H2A, like I said, we can file at any time. H2B, we have 2 seasons, April and October.
Okay, perfect. So this is the right time to apply for those one as well. So I will provide your link at the bottom of the description of my this video, so people can contact you. I will also share your YouTube channel, so if people want to connect directly, they can
Yeah.
directly connect you as well. Uh, do you have any referral, any videos from one of your past applicants you can share with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a most recent reference from a very successful applicant who got his national interest waiver green card in literally 3 days. This was a record time after we filed. And he got the first step of the green card in 3 days, which was incredible. You can see the testimonial also in this video.
Perfect. I'll share.
Zeeshan, maybe I can say a few words about the E2
Sure,
visa,
sure, go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
So, as you know, Zeeshan, the E2 visa is an investor visa that is available to many applicants from countries that have a treaty. Like, for example, Pakistan has a treaty. All the European countries have a treaty. Canada, India doesn't have a treaty, but a lot of Indian applicants use the L visa, which if they have a company in your if you have a company in your home country and you want to open a branch in the US, the L visa is the best visa to do it because there's no cap. You can do it at any time. As long as you open a small affiliate of your company from overseas in the US, you can move yourself, your family, and your entire team with an L visa. The E visa is for those that have the treaty. It's an investor visa with as little as 50,000. And a lot of people are applying right now because, again, the US economy is kind of growing right now. They're looking for a lot of investors. And the E2 visa has a very, very high success rate from all over the world. Like I said, even Pakistan and many other countries like that. So, if people are interested in starting a business in the United States, I think, Zeeshan, this is the best time to do it because I've never seen so many approvals for e-visas like we've seen now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you so much. I know you've been very helpful for my audience, and will keep sharing your thoughts with my audience as well. Thank you so much, and have a
Appreciate it.
nice weekend.
Thanks, Zeeshan, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye.
My name is Waqas Khan Pitasi, and I recently applied for U.S. immigration using the services of Jacob. This has been a great experience working with Jacob Sapochnik. His team is awesome, and I got my NIW approved in a record time of 3 days. We applied on 26th of August, and we got reply on reply of approval on the 31st. So it has been like a great experience, and I want to recommend anybody who is willing to pursue this route to contact Jacob and his team. They are amazing.